All right, let's dive in. Today we're tackling a huge, mind-bending concept they're calling the last economy. We're going to distill a really important conversation between macro thinker Raoul Pal and AI pioneer Ahmad Mustaqe. Because what they're talking about isn't just tech, it's a massive economic earthquake, and it's going to affect every single one of us. Okay, so let's just jump right into the deep end with what is without a doubt the most direct and frankly shocking prediction from their whole discussion.
This right here from Ahmad Mostaq really sets the tone. I mean, listen to that again. 3 years. This isn't some far-off sci-fi future we're talking about. This is a near-term forecast for pretty much anyone whose job happens on a computer. The message is just crystal clear. The ground is shifting under our feet way, way faster than most people realize. And all of this rapid change? It's pushing us towards something they call the economic singularity. Think of it like a point of no return. It's where the basic rules of the game, the rules of labor, money, and value that have run our world for centuries, they don't just bend, they completely break. It creates a new reality that, honestly, we don't fully understand.
So, what's the engine driving us towards this singularity so unbelievably fast? Well, it all boils down to one of the most powerful deflationary forces in history, the absolutely staggering collapse in the cost of intelligence itself.
To really get a handle on this, let's just look at the numbers. When GPT-3 first launched, not that long ago by the way, the cost for 1 million tokens, and you can think of tokens as just the basic building blocks of data that AI chews on, was around $600. Now look at this. The price collapse is it's insane. Today, incredibly powerful models like Grok 4 Fast have absolutely demolished that price down to just 50 cents. So, from $600 down to 50 cents, that's not an improvement. That is a complete revolution in the supply chain of thinking.
So what does this actually mean in the real world? Well, an AI doing the same daily cognitive work as a human, we're talking about 200,000 mental tokens a day, could cost as little as $35 for an entire year. Now you compare that to a typical human salary of what, $50,000 or more? The difference is just staggering. It almost doesn't feel real.
So the really crucial point to get here is that this isn't just about giving people better spreadsheets or better software. No, this is a fundamental change in who or what is doing the thinking. The valuable work, from accounting and marketing to writing code, is on the verge of shifting from our brains to AI models, and it's happening at a cost that is practically zero.
You know, to really wrap our heads around this new world, the old playbooks, they just won't cut it. All our old economic theories were built for a world of scarcity. We need a whole new framework, a new way of seeing how value works.
So the conversation brings up this great analogy. You've probably heard it before, the blind scientists and the elephant. You know, you think of the greats like Adam Smith, Karl Marx, Hayek, they were all brilliant, but they were like those scientists. One touches the tusk and says, aha, it's a spear. Another feels the leg and says, nope, it's a tree. They were all right about the part they were touching, but none of them could see the whole animal.
So, a new theory is emerging, and it's actually inspired by how AI itself learns. It's called loss minimization. It's simple, really. An AI gets better by trying to close the gap between what it thinks the world is like and what the world is actually like. Well, what if that's what all of economics is? Every person, every company, we're all just trying to minimize the loss between our model of the world and reality itself. This one idea could be the foundation for everything.
Okay, so this new model breaks capital down into 4 different types. You've got material capital. That's the easy one. If I give you my apple, I don't have it anymore. Simple. But then there's intelligence capital. If I share an idea with you, I don't lose it. We both have it. Then there's network capital, which is the value of who you know and who trusts you. And finally, diversity capital. Having different viewpoints makes a system stronger, more resilient. In this new world, we have to manage all 4 of these.
So all of this abundance, all this near-free intelligence, it leads to this really weird and kind of powerful paradox. A world that's overflowing with abundance that, at the same time, could be a trap for human value.
And that forces us, all of us, to ask a really tough question. If the main thing most of us sell to make a living is our brain power, our cognitive labor, what happens to our jobs? What happens to our sense of self? What happens to society when the economic value of that labor gets closer and closer to zero?
And this right here, this is what's being called the abundance trap. See, for most of us, a job isn't just about the money, right? It's who we are. It's our daily routine. It's our social circle. It gives us an identity. When AI makes the thing we do abundant and cheap, all those crucial human support systems get put under incredible stress.
Yeah, they don't pull any punches in this conversation. They call this shift the single biggest deflationary shock the world has ever seen. A deflationary nuclear bomb. It's a force that is just poised to completely rewrite the value of almost everything we think is valuable today.
Okay, so think about it. If intelligence is basically free, and digital content can be copied forever with a click, what's left? What actually becomes scarce? Because that's the most important economic question of our time. Whatever is truly scarce is what's going to become incredibly valuable.
Well, the thinking goes that value is going to rush towards the few things that AI can't just replicate on demand. Things like human attention. There's only so much of it to go around. The trust and value of real human connection. You can't fake that. And finally, provable digital scarcity. Things like Bitcoin or NFTs, assets on a blockchain that are verifiably one of a kind.
Look, this all sounds pretty intense. I get it. But it's not about doom and gloom. It's really about adapting. So how do we actually navigate this massive shift? The conversation offers a really clear and very human path forward.
So what can you actually do? It boils down to 3 actionable steps. Number 1, use the tools. You've got to get your hands dirty, engage with AI every single day, and understand what it can and can't do. 2, build your network. Double down on real human-to-human relationships built on trust. And 3, focus on what actually matters. Prioritize community and real connection over just trying to optimize every last second of your day.
And this whole idea is wrapped up perfectly in that old story. You know the one, about the investment banker and the fisherman. The banker spends all this time telling the fisherman how to optimize his business, scale up, make millions, only to realize that the fisherman already has the life that the banker is working himself to death to someday achieve. It's a reminder that the ultimate goal isn't just pure output. It's about human experience. And that's something AI can't replace.
And that brings us to the final, and maybe the most important question of all. The AI is going to be the tool that builds our next economy. We are literally about to hand the keys over to the builders. So the single most important decision our species might ever make is, what objective do we give it? What do we tell this incredible new intelligence to optimize for? The answer to that question is going to define everything.